Hi everyone, this is Miss Addie from the National Museum of Women in the Arts. I'm coming to you from home again. I'm sitting in my living room and decided to put out one of my favorite picnic blankets. It sort of looks like real grass, but it's actually in my living room. But it helps me feel like I'm spending more time outside than I actually am. Today's story is Toot and Puddle, and it's by the author and illustrator Hobbie. And this book was actually given to me a long time ago by a really good friend of mine, and she signed it so that I will always remember when I open this book that Carolyn gave it to me. Toot and Puddle by Hobbie. I like this first page here because there's a sweet little illustration of a pig or a piglet reading a story, and the title of the book is called Pigtail. Toot and Puddle live together in Woodcock Pocket. Tell what time of year it is. It looks like it's snowing and they're bundled up. I can see scarves and hats, and I see some shovels in the background too. I wonder what time of year it is here. It was such a perfect place to be that Puddle never wanted to go anywhere else. Toot, on the other hand, loved to take trips. He had been to Cape Cod, the Grand Canyon, and the redwood forests. We can see Toot here. He's taking a look at the globe. Maybe he's thinking a little bit more about where he's going on his next trip. I see he's looking through a magnifying glass, and I even see that he has a whole box of souvenirs here in the background. Those things we bring back from trips so that we can remember our experiences. One day in January, Toot decided to set off on his greatest trip ever. He decided to see the world. "Do you want to come along?" he asked Puddle. "We could start with someplace warm and wild." Puddle preferred to stay home. "I love snow," he thought. "Dear Puddle, I've made some new friends in Africa. Is winter getting boring?" Toot. I like this little postcard here, and the date stamp says Kenya, Africa. And we see Toot here in the middle of all of these animals. Do we know what kind of animals these are? These are hippopotamuses. And it looks like he's in the middle of a herd or a group of hippopotamuses. Meanwhile, presenting Puddle at Pocket Pond. Looks like Puddle is having a good time ice skating. Another postcard from Toot. "Dear Puddle, Egypt is awesome. The pyramids are the greatest. Wish you could meet me at the oasis. Your friend, Toot." And the stamp here says Nile River, which is in Africa. And it also says March, so it gives us a sense of what time of year it is. March meant maple syrup. Puddle wished Toot were here to taste the pancakes. In April, Toot wrote to Puddle, "Dear Puddle, can you believe I'm in the Solomon Islands? They're in the Pacific Ocean. I spent all day underwater. I love being in a school of fish. Has spring come yet? Your pal, Toot." We can see Toot here in the middle of this whole school of fish. Yes, spring had arrived. Puddle was having mud season. Yay! We see Puddle playing in some puddles. And now he's taking a bath to get clean. We see some soap on the floor. We see dirt all over. And he even wrote, "I love mud" on the bathtub. Another postcard came in May. And this one was from Bombay, India. "Hi, Puds. Am I in India or is this a dream? It's your birthday, May 3rd. Hope your party is the best. Friends forever, Toot." There's an elephant in the background. Back at Woodcock Pocket, "For he is a jolly good fellow, for he is a jolly good fellow, for he is a jolly good fellow, that nobody can deny." It looks like Puddle's having a little birthday party here. In June, another postcard came. "Dear Puddle, help! Mountain climbing is scarier than jumping out of a plane. Remember when I talked you into going parachuting? Your friend in the Alps, Toot." look at Toot there. And it looks like there's a mountain goat kind of looking down on him. Puddle remembered. Dear Puddle, Toot wrote in July, you would love Matador Camp. The bull's name is Dandio. Bravo from Spain, Toot. In July, presenting Puddle at Pocket Pond. Every time he jumped in, he cheered, Olé! In August, Toot wrote, Dear Puddle, August is cold in Antarctica, but I've made more friends here than anywhere yet. Are you going to the beach this year? I miss you. Do you miss me? Friends forever, Toot. What's happening here? It looks like Toot is roasting some marshmallows with all of his penguin friends. Yes, Puddle missed his friend. In September, from Paris, France. Dear Pudsey, bonjour from Paris. Art is everywhere. Love is in the air. Au revoir, Toot. Look at Toot here. He's hanging out, taking a look at the artwork. We see Mona Lisa in the background. Even see some sculptures of pigs. I love art, thought Puddle. And look at, we see him here with his flowers that remind me of Van Gogh's flowers. Look, he's getting out his art supplies. Maybe when we're done with a story, you can find some art supplies to make an art project at home. He has some brushes, and I see a painter's palette. And then we have an easel and a paintbrush. And it looks like he's going to paint a still life, or he's going to paint these flowers in his artwork. And look, he did that, and he actually included a self-portrait in that painting. In October, from Florence, Italy. Dear Pudzio, Italy is heaven. It's one big treat. Your friend, Tuzio. Look at all of those treats. I see different kinds of desserts. I see bread. Everything looks delicious. Meanwhile, it was Halloween in Woodcock Pocket. Puddle decided to be horrifying. Look, he used a paper bag and some crayons and scissors, and he made his very own mask. One morning in November, Toot woke up and thought, it's time to go home. Let's take a look at what he has going on around him. It looks like he's looking out a window. And there's a whole package that's marked souvenirs. I see a map on the floor. Maybe some souvenirs like this sword and his backpack. Yay, Toot's coming. It looks like Puddle is getting prepared. It looks like he's cooking and decorating, cleaning up the house, brushing his teeth. He's excited to see his friend. December called for celebration. Here's to all your adventures around the world, said Puddle. Here's to all your adventures right at home, said Toot. And here's to being together again, Toot and Puddle said at the same time. Toot was happy to be back in his own bed, and Puddle was happy too. I wonder if it will snow all night, Puddle said. I hope so, said Toot. Then we'll go sliding, said Puddle. And skiing, said Toot. Good night, Toot. Good night, Puddle. Thank you.